As you'll know from the last video, Astral Dismay is a level-based horror game with different entities that are out for blood. Your blood. We covered gameplay and brief aspects in the last video, but now I feel it's time to cover some finer details, starting with the entities. Entity information can be split into 4 categories. These are rarity. This refers to how common it is to see an entity appear. The more rare an entity, the less it'll appear. Speed. This refers to how fast an entity moves. Vision. This refers to the range an entity will spot subjects from afar. And scales, depending on the subject's stealth stat. The lower the vision of an entity, the less likely they are to spot you. Aggravation. This refers to how likely an entity is to maintain a chase with a subject after breaking line of sight. The lower the aggravation, the quicker the chase is dropped. Each entity has their own makeup of these 4 stats alongside their additional quirks and tricks. These stats are a good thing to keep in mind when facing each entity, as I'll tell you how to play against them. Now I'll cover the stats for each entity along with how to counter them. Keep in mind that all this information is subject to change and release. Banshee is the first entity on this list, falling in at common rarity with fast speed but low vision and aggravation. Banshee is described as a spirit that managed to get trapped within the corrupted timelines. Her wails and swift movements are bound to be the signal of your impending doom. Banshee has low vision and low aggravation but is fast. Therefore your best counter here is to break line of sight as quickly as possible. She will lose you rather quickly once you break line of sight, so make sure to do it before you run out of stamina. Perceiver's next on the list, also falling in at common rarity but with average speed and aggravation, however lower vision than average. Perceiver is described as once human, now only a failed experiment. Despite the changes, he still keeps a smile on his face. His eyes have been scathed, requiring him to rely heavily on his hearing. Avoid moving within his range. Perceiver has poor vision and relies on audio, so if Perceiver approaches you while you're working on a task, you can just stand still and get away with it. If you're walking around, he may hear you, but breaking line of sight should be enough to deter him. Undead is next, once again falling in at a common rarity with average vision and aggravation, but at a slow speed. Undead is described as a skeleton with unknown origins. Whose could it be? This entity is quite slow and shouldn't bring too much trouble to any subjects. Undead is a very slow entity and is quite easy to escape. Simply breaking line of sight is enough to deter the undead. Demon is next, falling into the uncommon rarity and maintaining an average speed and average vision, but with high aggravation. Demon is described as an aggressor from the fiery depths. He'll gain a permanent speed boost for each subject he damages, boosting himself a maximum of 3 times. Will you be the next victim of his bloodbath? With Demon, your best bet is attempting to not get hit by this entity. He'll be an average speed unless he hits a subject, meaning that as long as no one is injured by Demon, he's relatively easy to cope with. Break line of sight and you should be okay. Mimic also falls into the uncommon rarity with averages all around. Mimic is described as a being of pure malice. It enjoys disguising itself as its prey and searching for anyone to catch off guard. Mimic is easy to lose as long as you're paying attention to your fellow subjects. Mimic will move in strange patterns that a player may not, and you can always verify your status as a real subject to another by doing an obscure movement such as spinning. Stalker once again falls into the uncommon category with average speed but high aggravation and far vision. Stalker is described as from prey to predator, once a deer transformed into a beast from a failed government experiment. There's a chance it will move to a random subject's location while roaming, seeking its next meal. Stalker requires you to be paying attention to your surroundings while doing tasks. This entity has an advanced AI, allowing it to either head to a patrol waypoint or the location of a player at random chance. You will also have to maintain the broken line of sight for longer to successfully escape being chased by this entity due to the high aggravation. Arachnid falls in at a rare on the rarity scale with average speed and vision but with low aggravation. Arachnid is described as this fierce mother spider is very territorial. She'll gradually unleash her spider babies to her sister and wrap webs around those she damages. These webs decrease stamina regeneration for 8 seconds. You may want to be quick when facing her. With Arachnid, it's best to try and avoid being damaged by her. If you're damaged by her, your stamina regeneration will be decreased and therefore you need to use your stamina wisely. Stamina conservation is a must with Arachnid. Alongside this, you need to pay attention to the environment when completing tasks as her babies are often roaming about. Gunslinger falls into the rare category of the rarity scale, however having far vision and high aggravation. Gunslinger is described as a fallen gunman seeking his revenge. Just the sight of this entity could fill anyone with dread. He'll perform a ranged attack on those he spots and greatly decrease their stealth for 10 seconds. With Gunslinger, you have to be careful to try and avoid provoking this entity. While being chased by Gunslinger, you will have your stealth significantly lowered, meaning that all other entities will not only see you easier, but will opt to target you over others. Due to this, you have to be cautious. The Gunslinger has a ranged attack that as long as you have his attention, he will fire. To avoid taking damage from this, you need to break line of sight before he shoots. These are all the normal entities so far, but who knows? Maybe there's going to be more in the future. There's 2 other entities that we haven't covered, but I'll be covering these 2 in a separate video, so stay tuned. And that's the end of this video. The entities within Astral Dismay are certainly unique, and I enjoy all the mechanics of them. The development of Astral Dismay is coming along nicely, and I look forward to being able to share more with you all as it progresses. As mentioned in the last video, Astral Dismay had a Discord server in the works, but I'm glad to announce that this server's finally finished and open to the public. You can find the link for the server in the description. Keep in mind that the servers are read-only apart from 2 forum channels. Alongside this, Luna's asked me to announce upcoming voice acting auditions for the game, so the link to the Astral Dismay casting call page will also be linked in the description. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to join my community Discord in the description below for events, content updates, suggestions, and so much more. Alongside these fun things, I'll be opening an Astral Dismay discussion channel amidst all my other game channels, so if you feel like discussing the game, you should totally join. That's all from me, I'll see you guys next time.